Check, check, check one, check two.
Yeah, Howdy. I really enjoy reading your books, and I guess my question here is, I'm listening to you, and I also had a stepfather that made my life hell and questioned this reality. But after you know all this, I mean, is it pointless to continue on, or is there a point to life if it's a soul trap? I mean, does it? Are we just here, just kind of living out our life, hoping to somehow avoid the trap at the end, and that's the whole thing? Or why not just get it over with now and go through it and get out of here?
I've gone through many different stages of how I see reality, how I see self, what I might believe or not believe about this place, but I've come to see this place more as a type of soul trap, a type of illusionary simulation that we've been tricked into entering. Best way to describe it. And so Chad's description or question is something similar to, well, if you find out that that's what the reality is and that you're kind of here against your will, and as the main part of the theory goes, we're sort of brought in here to be like an energy battery to run the simulation. Why not just kill yourself and leave? And the problem with, and even though, like me, when I was in my suffering point, when I was in the most suffering, I thought, killing myself, that's the answer. I'll just end the suffering. And the problem with why that won't work is because, okay, you can end this particular life. Fine, okay. But we don't we don't really know fully what's going to happen after we die, which is, in my eyes, filled with all sorts of tricks and deceptions and problems that are just going to recycle us right back in here, just going to bring us back, reincarnate us back into this thing. And the next one might even, the suffering might be worse. So for me, just trying to get out of one life, just is stop this one, is not going to be any kind of advantage if we haven't done every preparation possible so that we've got the after death state understood so that we can navigate that process. And I'm not saying we have to wait till we die to exit this place. I think it can be done while we're still in living form. It's a much more challenging thing, but I think it's possible. But to it's more likely a chance after we die. So if we have an opportunity while we are alive to gain knowledge, to practice, to deepen our own authority, to deepen our own power, to deepen our own sovereignty, which can transfer over sort of on a symbolic way into the death realm. So it's like for anyone who's suffering and like, I know it might be difficult right now. We've all been there. Of us talking to you, we've all been there, but you don't want to leave until you think you're 110% prepared. Like, you don't want it's like, I'll take one more day of difficulty if it teaches me one more thing about another trick that's gonna try to get me on the other side and get me back into this place. My goal is never to come back. My goal isn't to leave as fast as possible, if that makes sense.
But where do you see your level of preparation now in terms of percentage?
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
It's definitely not 100%. Um, it's, let's say, definitely not 50. So I'd say somewhere in that range. Um, I think for me, one of the most important steps now is more conscious awareness in a non-physical state. Because as we have a dream or whatever, we're so easily tricked into believing that the dream is reality and that's a real experience, and we just go with it rather than instantaneously questioning, where am I, what's going on, what is this reality I'm in, and so that's a really big step for me now, is working on that aspect.
Now, is it problematic because you said that there could be 10,000 other yous in parallel realities, right? And maybe those yous aren't aware of what you know right now and what you're talking about.
Right,
So if you take
right.
yourself out of this reality, you still have the problem. You have 9,999 other Howdies sitting in other realities suffering. Is that
Well,
is
we
that a
have,
possibility?
yeah, again, that's so that was the part about the parallel reality was really powerful for me because it indicated that what was happening to just the me thing here is just one of a million possibilities going on, which makes sense. If some people try to say, what is this realm for? And some's answer, well, some being wants a lot of experiences. Well, it would make sense that it should have a million versions of me, not just one. This is a very limited amount of experience this one thing is having right now, as opposed to 10 million versions of me. You would be able to get all possible experiences that way. But the sense I get is that, of course, this is not me, right? This is just a projection of what truly is me. And we might not even a soul, even what's before the soul, before the even thing that something breaks into individual souls, that thing that is so far back beyond this realm. So for me, I think everything that happens, that every one of the me's experiences, is pulled back to this original sort of conglomerate back there. So I'm not too concerned what any of the other me's are doing, of which a lot will have no interest in this whatsoever. They'll be living totally normal lives. But every one of the me's that are digging into this are building the jigsaw puzzle of totality with that thing back there of everything that's going to need. Like this is just a meat suit. This is just going to this
Avatar.
is just returning back to this realm when it's done. But the conscious awareness, or the recording awareness, you might say, recording consciousness, that's taking all of those experiences in. It's digesting it, I think, and it is the thing that's choosing which of those experiences are valuable for its return home. That's the best way I can feel
Do you
about it.
think you can jump? Do you think you can change your perspective? I mean, those other realities, those other parallel U's. I mean, we're entertaining all of this. Anything is possible. So have
Yeah.
you tried to jump into another reality or another version of you or another perspective?
It happens to me in my dreams a lot. I know when I dream and I wake up, I don't know how many others have this experience where you wake up and you've just been dreaming about something that you know has happened in your life, an experience. Oh yeah, I was dreaming about that again from when I was 20, and then you're walking around 15 minutes later and you think, wait, that didn't happen.
It never happened.
No, but
Yeah.
it did, but it didn't. I know that person, but I know if I called them up, they wouldn't know who I was. They'd have never met me, but I know them. I know them for 10 years. And I realize it's a parallel reality. It's an experience without question. For example, I have certain dreams where I spend a lot of time at David Letterman's house.
Hmm.
Like, and nothing else is happening other than just me and him were sitting, and we'd have a drink, and we'd be looking out at his deck and whatever. And of course, I was a comedian for 15 years. And if I had done a little different life, if I had made certain other choices, it's highly likely maybe I could have,
Been
gone
there.
on the Tonight Show, gone on Letterman, got to know one of these guys. So, I mean, all of the things that turn out in my dreams where it feels like this is a real experience could fit into a logical uh, train line of my life with a couple of adjustments. I don't have dreams where I'm sitting with, some aristocrat of some European country or something, because it wouldn't be in my potential alternate timeline. So I think for me, in dreams, it happens all the time. I know a couple of people, it happens to them in their life. They'll literally be walking down the street, and then a whole bunch of things will change on them. There'll be different people around them, but it's still the same street. It's still their life. It's just they know it's like it's a different version of it, and then they switch back again.